So in the last class, we discussed about aggregate functions in SQL, right? Today we will talk about another topic called as order by. Okay, so this order by is again used to order the records in either ascending order or descending order. Okay, so let's check out. Let me comment out all these things. I will write select everything from the table employees. Okay, and now I want to order the values based on the first name, like first name मेरे order man. Okay, so first underscore name. Okay, so for that I have to write order by the first name. Clear? So that's it. This is the keyword which will help us order our result in the first name. Okay, so if you don't mention ascending or descending, by default it will take ascending order. Okay, let's run this command. Of course we have to write the use database, use employees. Okay, so now we got all the values which are ordered in the first name order, like so ascending. It all starts from A and in the end it goes to Z. Okay, for now all the 1000 records are just with the A. Okay, of course you can also order it in descending order. Okay, so in order to make it descending order, you just have to append a keyword called as DESC, and for ascending order it's just ASC, and for descending order it should be DESC. Okay, so let's run this now. It should be in descending order. Okay, now it starts with AAM, right? So it should be something different now. See, from the descending order it starts with the Z. Clear? Okay, so if you want to ascend or if you want your records to be in ascending order but based on two fields, from the first name and as well as the last name. Okay, so let's remove this descending and let's make it to ascending itself. Okay, so now look at this last name field, right? So they're just very random. Once they have been arranged in ascending order with the first name, I want them to be arranged in ascending order according to the last name as well. Okay, like see, armor is multiple times there, right? Now for the multiple values of armor, I want them to be arranged based on the last name's ascending order. Okay, you can simply come back here and have a comma and write last name. Sorry, it should be last name. Okay, you can have as many fields as you want, and then you can run it now and observe it's in ascending order as well. Armor Anger, Armor Armand, something like this. Clear? So you can use order by clause to arrange or to organize your values in either ascending order or descending order. I hope this is clear. Now let's discuss about the group by clause. Okay, so the group by clause helps us in grouping the records. Okay, so let me just show you a slide. So when working in SQL, results can be grouped according to a specific field or fields. Okay, so as we say, like all the first names which are same should be grouped at one thing. Okay, or all the people who have been hired in one hiring date can be grouped, something like that. Okay, so now um, a group by must be placed immediately after the where clause. Okay, and if there is any order by, it should come right after the group by. Okay, so if you are using where condition, it should come before the group by, and if you want to use order by, it should come after the group by clause. Okay, something like this. I'll show you here. So select the column names from this table and apply all the conditions you want if there are any. If there are no conditions, it's fine as well. You can go with the group by. If you want to use group by, it should be after where, if there is where. If not, it's fine. And if you want to use order by, it should be right after the group by, not before group by. Okay. Okay. So now let's go to the MySQL Workbench. But even before that, I just want to mention group by is a bit hard to grasp for the beginners, but it's a very powerful tool. Okay, so this will make your reporting very easy. Okay, you can really give big insights because of this group by class. Okay, so I hope you will give a more attention to it. Okay, so let's try and do something in workbench. Okay, so I will try to write select. I will write like first name. I just want to have the first name from the table employees. Okay, if I write this, I will get all the first names, right? Okay, so how many did I get? 1000. Okay, so now I want to get all the first names which are grouped based on the first names. Okay, this might sound a bit strange. Let's do it. Group by the first name. Okay, so now let's run it and observe. It might seem like we got the same result, but the thing is, you won't see any repetitions. Okay, so let's arrange this order by the first name. Okay, so we will not see any repetitions. Okay, sorry, I might have made a mistake, the first spelling. Okay, as you can see, armor were too many, right? So now armor is just one. Okay, there is no repetition. Okay, so using group by here is kind of something like this. It's same as select distinct first name from employees. Okay, and again, it's also, you can use order by the first name and you will get the same result for this as well. Okay, you can run it and you should get the same result for this. So using group by for the first name is almost as same as using the distinct one. Okay, so when does it actually impact? When does it actually give us more uh, result, right? So let's try and do something else. Okay, I will comment this out. I hope you have understood till here. Okay, so now I want to have a count of how many times armor has repeated, how many times armored has repeated, right? That's what I want to check out. These names, how many times this first name has repeated, how many times this has been repeated. That's what I want to check out. Okay, so for that you can try to do something like this. Select first name, okay, and then count of the first name, okay. So I want to select the first name as well as the second column I want to have the count of the first name from the employees table. Okay, now if you just try to do it, okay, let me just do till here and check what we will get. Of course there is an error, sorry. We should have a space, I think. Okay, sorry, I shouldn't give the space here. The problem here it's set already. In aggregate, when we are trying to aggregate with multiple columns, we have to have the group by. Okay, so we can use group by the first name. Okay, so let me just explain what's going on here. I want to select two columns. One is the first name, and another column is going to be an aggregate value column, which is basically the count of the first name. Okay, from the employees table, but I want to group by the first name. So this will make, let's just run it and see. Okay, so now as you can see, George has been repeated 253 times. This Bezalel has repeated 228 times, something like this. Okay, so now I think it's more visible, like how important this group by is, right? Because we group the records based on the first name, all the Georges have been grouped at once and they are total 253. And all the Bezalel have been grouped together and there are total of 228, right? So I think this is pretty new for you guys, right? So you can select columns based on aggregate functions. This is the new thing that we did today. Okay. Okay. So now this looks a bit unprofessional to have a column name with aggregate function and everything, right? So you can do something else, which is called as aliasing the column names. You can rename this to something else, like first name count. Okay. For that, you just have to do something like first name or count first name, something like this. So count names. Okay, but they should prefix with as keyword. Okay, so I want to rename the count first name aggregate column to count names. Now this count first name of the column will be replaced with the count names. Let me run this command once. So as you can see, first name column and the count names column. Okay, of course you can also make it ascending order by just writing order by first name and run it. You should get the ascending order ones. I hope the group by clause is clear. And I just want to give you one exercise, or I will just do one more thing. Let me do something else from the some other department. Okay, so I will try to get the how many employees have been hired on a particular date. Okay, there are lots of hiring dates, right? And on every hiring date, how many people have been hired? That's what I want to check out. Okay, so how can we do that? It should be pretty simple again. So select, I want to select the hire date. Okay, and then I want to count the hire date as well. And I want to rename the count hire date. So I can say count date, something like this, count date from employees, and let me group it by the hire date. Okay, so we can also order by the hire date. Okay, so let's run this. As you can see, on this date, particular date, 9 people have been hired. Okay, there are total 9 hirings happened. Okay, so 9 people's hiring date has been there. And we can rename this into something like number of hirings. Okay, this makes even more sense. Okay, so on this date we have 9 hirings, on this date just one, so on this date it's 118, something like this. Okay, okay, so one more thing that we can do is we can aggregate it even more, but we can do it later. But for now, I hope till now everything is clear. I hope that is the thing. Okay,